Blake Simpson bought something on Amazon. I know. This is not breaking news. Blake buys things on Amazon all the time. But this time, what he bought is actually relevant to what we're talking about today. So I'm going to let it slide. Welcome, Jerry Summerfield, our resident I'll believe it when I see it guy, has also weighed in on this particular category of purchase from experience involving his teenagers, which honestly is a clinical trial I didn't know I needed. We're talking about your TV, specifically the AI that's quietly been living inside it or attached to it, and whether any of it is real, useful, or just a very convincing sticker on the box. I'm Annie Rhodes. This is AI Alchemy with Annie, episode 4. Astro is already judging the remote control. Let's go! Welcome back, everyone. Blake, Jerry, good to have you both here.
Hey, happy to be here, and thanks for having me. Always glad to have a reason to talk about things that may or may not be worth the money.
Is that a warning? That feels like a warning.
It's not a warning. More like let's call it my personal disclaimer.
Blake, I heard you made a purchase.
I did. Okay, so Amazon has the Fire TV Stick 4K Max on sale right now, and I've been looking for a streaming device, and this one looks really good to me. 4K Max streaming device with AI-powered Fire TV search, supports Wi-Fi 6E, free and live TV without cable or satellites, finds shows faster with Alexa Plus. I didn't even know there was such thing as Wi-Fi 6E, and that alone feels like it'll keep me set for a long time with the newest technology, right? And after all, it's a sale. You buy it, and that's how sales work.
Well, that's not exactly how sales work.
It kind of is, though. Like, the price goes down, you go, and then it's in your cart.
And then it shows up, and then you figure out what it does.
Yes, in that order, yes.
Okay. To be fair to Blake, the Fire Stick 4K Max is actually a solid product. This is not a cautionary tale, or at least I don't think it is. Right, Jerry?
Probably. Great. Love that.
Jerry, you went a different route. You actually bought one for your kids, which means you did research before spending money, which makes you a completely different species from Blake.
Aw, come on now.
Yeah, I have been burned enough times to know that on sale is not a review. But yeah, my teenagers basically staged a quiet campaign for a smarter TV setup. It was very subtle, just constant comments every time the TV buffered. Very low key.
Teens are so passive aggressive.
They learned from the best. That would probably be for me. Anyway, I looked into it. I compared a few options. I landed on the Fire Stick 4K Max, and I bought it intentionally, like an adult, and I have some thoughts to share.
This is going to be such a good episode. I can't wait. Okay, before we dive in and let Jerry tell us if and how this changed life for his kids, let's talk about what we actually mean when we say AI in the context of your TV setup. Because AI-powered is printed on approximately everything right now, and it means wildly different things depending on what you're looking at.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It seems like everything is AI powered or AI enhanced these days, like my blender might be AI powered at this point.
Your blender is not AI powered. It just has a turbo button. But the Fire TV Stick 4K Max, there are a few things going on under the hood that are actually worth talking about. First, Alexa, which has been around long enough that people forget it's a fairly sophisticated voice AI. You can search across streaming services, control smart home devices, ask questions, set timers, all of that, hands-free. And on the 4K Max specifically, they upgraded the processor, so it's meaningfully faster than older Fire Sticks. Less lag, quicker responses, smoother navigation.
Okay, the processor thing I did not know about. And even if I did, I don't know that I really get what that means when it comes to watching TV. I just saw sale and 4K and Wi-Fi 6E, and honestly, that was enough for me.
This is why we read the specs, Blake.
In my defense, I was going to read them after it arrived, mainly so I could figure out how to set it up.
Dude, that's backwards.
I prefer to call it a strategically different approach.
both valid life philosophies. Anyway, the other piece that actually earns the AI label is the content recommendation engine. Fire TV learns what you watch, how long you watch it, what you abandon 12 minutes in, which honestly is a lot of data, and it uses that to surface content across all your streaming apps in one interface, not just one service, all of them.
Well, the cross-platform search is real, and let me tell you, it is genuinely useful. I'll give it that. My kids were always doing, is this on Netflix or Hulu or ... And now they just ask and it finds it. That alone is worth something, and it keeps the arguing down to a low roar.
Oh, that got my attention. That's actually huge. I hate doing that.
Right? Me too. And then there's the ambient experience. It turns your TV into a kind of smart display when you're not actively watching. Shows photos, art, weather, time, uses the TV you already own as a more functional piece of the room. It's not revolutionary, but it is a nice use of the screen that would otherwise just be a black rectangle on the wall.
My kids use the ambient mode more than I expected, honestly, which it surprised me. You know, I thought they would totally ignore it. But when they're doing homework, of all things, they like having something in the room that gives them a little something visual to look at now and then without it being too distracting, if that makes sense. It made me do a double take. I was like, what?
Wait, so it turns into a picture frame?
Essentially, or a weather display, or a clock. Amazon keeps expanding what it can show. It's a small thing, but it's a real thing.
Okay, now I'm more excited about this than I was before.
Just wait until you try to get it set up. Though I will say, once it's running, the whole experience is pretty streamlined. Get it? Streaming device, streamlined. I'll let myself out.
Is that a warning?
It's a very gentle heads up.
Okay, let's talk setup, because this is where the experience actually lives for most people. The box makes it sound like you plug it in and magic happens instantly.
It's not terrible. I want to be fair here. It's not terrible.
That's a very Jerry sentence if I've ever heard one.
I mean it. It's genuinely not bad. You plug it into an HDMI port. It walks you through Wi-Fi. You sign into your Amazon account, and then you add your streaming services. That part is pretty smooth. The issue is, and this gets everyone, it wants access to everything, every service, every app. And if you have 6 streaming subscriptions, like my kids somehow talked us into, that's 6 logins you need to find.
Yeesh, that's kind of my nightmare. I don't know any of my passwords.
Nobody does. And if you do, you deserve a trophy, because then you have to use that little remote, you know, the one that hunting and pecking through every letter, like you're texting in 2003, you know, P, A, S, S. Oh, I gave up and I just reset mine twice.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah, that's the real barrier. And it's across the board for all streaming services, really. I mean, Amazon didn't build that problem, to be fair, but it lives there.
The good news is you only do it once. Once it's set up, it stays set up, and the interface for navigating across all those services in one place is genuinely better than bouncing between apps on a regular smart TV.
Well, my current TV has built-in apps, but I never really use them because they're so slow. Is this faster? I mean, granted, my TV is a little older, but still.
Almost certainly. The 4K Max has their newest chip. It's noticeably snappier than older Fire TV generations, and most built-in smart TV platforms, which tend to age badly.
Yeah, the thing that people don't realize is that a smart TV's built-in software gets slower over time, while the TV's picture hardware stays the same. So the Fire Stick is a separate device, so you can upgrade it independently without replacing the whole TV.
Huh, I didn't know the software gets slower. That's actually a really good point. I hadn't thought about that. Can the software issue be fixed, or is it just remedied with the Fire Stick?
Short answer, not really. You can do software updates on the TV itself, and manufacturers occasionally push improvements. But the underlying hardware, it has a ceiling. And once the chip is too old to run newer software smoothly, you're pretty much stuck. The Fire Stick sidesteps that entirely because it is its own device with its own processor. So you upgrade the stick, not the TV.
That's exactly why I went this route instead of buying a whole new TV. It's cheaper. It's a smarter move. The TV itself is fine. It just needed better brains.
That framing is exactly right. It's not a TV replacement. It's a software upgrade for a TV that already has good hardware. Let's talk about Alexa specifically, because Alexa is, and I say this with genuine respect, a very useful AI that gets underestimated because it's been around so long that people stopped thinking of it as impressive.
Yeah. I feel like Alexa kind of became furniture. Like, oh yeah, the cylinder that tells me the weather, you know.
And that's actually a perfect segue into something worth clarifying. The listing mentions Alexa Plus, which is Amazon's upgraded version of Alexa. Regular Alexa is great at task commands. Let me say that right. But Alexa Plus, it adds a more conversational AI layer. It can handle follow-up questions, more complex requests, chain things together. You know, think of it as Alexa that actually listens to the context instead of just the keywords. It's still rolling out, so your mileage may vary depending on what's live when you set it up, Blake.
Oh, so it's like Alexa, but smarter.
And that's the idea, yeah. And on the Fire TV, it's doing more than the cylinder. You can say, find something funny under an hour, and it'll actually search across your services and surface results. You can say, rewind 30 seconds without touching the remote. You can control your smart lights, your thermostat, your other Alexa devices, all from the couch, all from the TV.
The smart home integration is where it actually gets interesting for me. I have a couple of smart plugs and a thermostat, and being able to control them from the TV remote or just by talking at the screen is, oh gosh, I didn't expect to care about it as much as I do. It's convenient in a low key way that it adds up.
Wait, hold on. Did I hear you say you can control your thermostat from the TV?
If it's an Alexa compatible thermostat, yeah.
Wow, my mind is a little bit blown right now.
That's the whole living room ecosystem play that Amazon has quietly been building for years now. Everything talks to everything. The Fire Stick is just the hub you interact with through the TV. Now, that said, I want to be honest here because that's what we do. Alexa has a ceiling. It's a task AI. It's excellent at specific commands like play this, find that, set a timer, turn off the lights. It's not a reasoning partner, and it's important that everyone understands that. It's not going to help you think through a decision or analyze something complex. That's not what it was built for, and it's not fair to judge it by that standard.
Right. It's the right tool for the job it was designed for, which is I want to do a thing and I don't want to pick up the remote. It's very good at that because at the end of the day, I admit, I just want to sit and watch TV and nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think people expect it to be like ChatGPT, and it's not. It's just TV AI, which is actually exactly what you need when you're watching TV.
Whoa, that's actually a really clean way to put it, Blake.
Yeah, I have my moments.
Clearly. All right. Worth it conversation. Jerry, you've lived with this. Real answer?
Real answer, yes. And I say that because there are a lot of things I've bought that I do not say that about. But this one, it does what it says it does. The cross-platform search works. The Alexa integration works. The interface is fast. My teenagers stopped complaining about the TV, at least for now, which is, look, that alone justifies the purchase price.
Yeah, teenager silence is genuinely priceless.
You cannot put a number on it.
Okay, now I'm even more excited for mine to show up tomorrow.
Just have your streaming passwords ready.
I'll text my brother. He keeps track of those things.
Every household needs a Blake's brother.
Here's the framework I'd use. The Fire TV Stick 4K Max makes sense if your current TV's built-in apps are slow or outdated, you're already in the Amazon ecosystem, you use Prime, Alexa devices, smart home stuff, you have multiple streaming services and you're tired of app hopping, you watch a lot of 4K HDR content, and you want the best picture processing the stick can give you. It does not make sense, however, if you just want a cheap way to get Netflix on an old TV. There are simpler and cheaper options for that specific use case.
That's fair. Know what you're buying it for. If the use case fits, it's a good buy. If you just want a, quote, streaming device and nothing else, there are simpler options at a lower price.
I feel like my use case fits, I think. I mean, I own things with Alexa already.
Then you're probably going to be happy with it.
Probably.
There it is again. Jerry, Blake, this was genuinely a fun one. Jerry, I feel like we need you on here more. You bring a completely different energy to this lab, and I am here for it.
Hey, that's the goal. You can be cautious about something and still have a good time. My kids taught me that.
I feel like I've been the uninformed consumer in this episode, and honestly, that is my role, and I embrace it fully. But I'm also pretty proud of myself, man. I mean, apparently I made a good buying decision without even knowing it.
The uninformed consumer who asks exactly the right questions. You'd be surprised how valuable that is.
Yeah, I'm basically a service to society.
You really are.
If this was useful, share it. The full breakdown and the link to the Fire TV Stick 4K Max are in the show notes. If Blake's experience convinces you, that's the link to use. Find us at artemisandtim.com, subscribe wherever you listen, and Blake, report back when yours arrives.
Oh, I absolutely will. I'll have feelings about it, I'm sure.
I'm Annie Rhodes. Astro just knocked the remote behind the couch, and we'll see you next time. Bye!